Hello, everyone. This is Suzette, and this is the Expert Talk. And today I am traveling to the Netherlands. This is true, right, Jessica?
Yes.
So I'm very happy. I'm having today my special guest. It's Jessica van Heck, and she's a real photonics passionate. She's happy working in photonics. It's her passion, and she's a real marketeer. And before we start, as you know, I always kindly introduce my guests. So listen and hopefully remember. And Jessica, please correct me if I'm wrong. So, Jessica, you have more than 20 years of experience in marketing with a strong engineering background because you are a sales engineer as well, which is very impressive. And then you moved into marketing, which is more interesting. However, you are specialized in photonics, optics, and other high tech fields, helping tech driven companies to translate complex innovations into clear and compelling stories. Very impressive and very high need, right? There's a high demand for this. So selling a laser is not that easy anymore. However, as a former association director, foundation manager, and agency founder, you bridge the gap between engineers and customers through storytelling. So, content strategy as well as marketing. So, Jessica, I'm very happy that you're here today. So, welcome to the podcast show. I hope everything was correct, or did I miss something?
No, no, no. Very good. Very good. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. Very happy to be here.
That's nice. So I just highlighted that photonics is one of your favorite fields, yeah, scientific fields. So maybe you can tell me why you have chosen photonics.
Also, I mean, initially I had a much broader background, right? It was actually a marine technology. So you learn about everything that happens on ships. And that means you get the basics of everything because you have everything there, but you're a specialist in nothing. So I started pretty broad in technology in general. But then I ended up at Ocean Optics and they sell miniature spectrometer. And I remember when I applied for the job, I wrote, light technology is fascinating, but really, I had no clue. But I did fall in love with photonics because I really I had no idea what you can do with light, and learning about the applications was just fascinating. I have loved so much talking to customers, hearing what they did, and learning about all the different stuff you can measure. From the spectroscopy side, it's a lot about measurement and metrology. So, things like the spectrum of an apple changes a few days before it starts rotting, right? So then you know that you should process it. It's too late to go into a distribution chain to sell it. So that kind of stuff, I don't know. I love it. Or I had an interview once with a guy that created some kind of what was it? Like a bruise scanner, so they could identify child abuse because they could match the impact of the bruise with the story and stuff like that. I mean, this is where I fell in love, right? So, but yeah, you can hear already. I really like the medical and the agri-food applications, but I mean, in general, I think light technology is just amazing.
That's so nice. So I very feel your passion, very much feel your passion, and I'm very excited about talking to you today about this. That's why I asked this question because always when we meet, because we met in person several times, I feel that passion. You know, your eyes are like starry eyes when we speak about photonics and also teaching and explaining difficult technologies with like, I don't know, easy language, right? So you choose after being a sales engineer where you also learn talking to customers the marketing field. So why marketing?
Well, so I mean, that was a big question because I started in sales and then was asked to do a little marketing, and those two jobs at one single company actually grew side by side up to a point where it was almost two full-time positions. So I thought, yeah, this is not possible, right? And the company said, yeah, choose. What do you want to do? And it was actually not an easy decision because what I love about sales is that you get more interaction with people, right? So you're more on the road, more talking. So I like I like talking. So so I like to interact with people, and marketing is also a lot from behind the desk, from behind the computer. But after giving it some consideration, I did also realize that I like talking more about how technology is helping than talking about how it works. And I feel that in sales position, for me, the first year I love it. Second year is still good, but after the second year, going into your third year, you kind of know how everything works, and it becomes kind of the same story over and over again. And I need challenges. I need, to dig my hands into something. And so I prefer marketing because there are always like new product developments, new markets emerging. So it's much more dynamic and, much more new challenges to get your to get your head around and dig in. So this is what I like.
Really nice. Thank you so much. So I would just like to go back to the sales time. Yes, you discovered or you stepped into the sales role because, as you know, I mean, Sales Pro for you, we are also working and supporting and coaching young professionals. So this is one of our key services we provide, which is very good. And you just said you started with sales. So do you think it's always good, or I mean, not always, but it's a good idea to sneak into sales, and to start your career from there? Because a lot of young people, they just said to us, well, sales, we don't want, to knock on anyone's door, so it's not a nice job. But for me, it sounds like it's the ground, like the base if you start, especially in a scientific field.
Oh, that's a good question. So, I mean, as I said, so I really liked it, right? And as part of my sales job, I also had like sales trainings. And it's really funny because we had this exercise where every colleague needed to have like this trial sales talk and they were recording it and people were getting feedback. And they actually took my recording to show, this is a good sales conversation because, me, I'm all excited and passionate. And so I'm very enthusiastic and, explaining about what technology can do and how it can benefit customers. And he said, "Yeah, but you kind of missed already four opportunities to make the sale, right? So you had already four chances to say, okay, let's make a deal." And this is maybe also where I realized that maybe sales is not really my thing because yeah, you need to be able to do it. And I mean, for me, this is a difficult thing, right? So I find it difficult to close the sale, I would say. So I am better at making people enthusiastic, and if they choose another way, I think, oh yes, it's not a problem because at least I gave them a good advice. So when they need something else, they'll come back to me. But that's not necessarily the right sales approach, right? So I mean, I have no problem getting my foot in the door, but yeah, I prefer to be the advisor than the aggressive salesperson. I'm also not convinced that that is actually the right way. I know this is what they told me, right? I should have made the sale, but I mean, I think that's a little bit difficult as well because you can make a sale like that, but then if the customer feels like he was pressured into it, there's a big chance he will never contact you again either. So I don't know. I think I would still do pretty okay as a salesperson, but I mean, I did always pretty well as a salesperson. But yeah, I don't know. So it's what is your definition of sales and what is success, right? In long term, short term makes a big difference.
Thank you so much. Anyhow, I still think, yeah, maybe you're supporting my opinion, but I still think it's a very good start, to get the feet into the company's door if you start with a sales position. Of course, it's a tough one, but you are learning a lot. And you just said you came later on from sales to marketing and then you grow, right? You climb the ladder.
Yes, of course. I mean, so I started in engineering actually, but yeah, I definitely like it more to interact with people. So then sales becomes a logical next step. And yeah, from there to marketing, first as just, would you like to do it a little bit to, oh, this is really nice. And this, as I said, I really like to explain how technology is helping and what it is enabling. And this, you can do it from a sales position, but often you are then stuck to like a specific product category. And, marketing is often much broader. So, yeah, I like it. But I mean, so what I would advise where you start your career, I mean, it depends also where you're coming from and what you are feel passionate about, right? I think the most important thing is that you do something that you love to do because you have to do it every day and often more than 40 hours a week, which you better choose something that you like because you will hit challenges anyway, always. And they are much more easy to handle when you enjoy your job. So try to find what you like to do most and, try if possible to, make your hobby into a career. That would be the best.
I will quote this. Thank you so much. This was perfect. This was wonderful. This was straight from the heart, to the listeners. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jessica. Very love you. Okay, let's jump to the marketing. I just made a note. You said several times it's more interesting for you how the thing, how the technology, how the product, how the service could help, right? So this is what you said. So now my question is, how does, I don't know, successful storytelling now works? How to explain, how it works. So because it's very difficult, it's not only a laser, it's an optic, it's a microchip, it's a sensor, whatever. So and a lot of companies have same products, but how to make it still attractive and also still explainable, to the customers.
I mean, I think it starts with not trying to tell what you do and what you offer, right? I mean, I always say no one cares what you do. No one cares what you have to sell. I mean, it's one of my first big learnings in my career. And I mean, I am forever grateful. Was in the middle of a sales conversation where my mentor said, "Stop, stop, 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 stop." And I said, "What?" He said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm trying to explain what we can do." And he said, "This isn't interesting. To ask him what he can sell, and then you design the machine based on his needs." So I think for marketing, it's really important. And this is where, often there's a mismatch in technology and marketing because technology is driven from technical specifications, right? So yes, this laser has these awesome specifications or this much power or, you know, and they try to put that in the market through marketing, but it's not about that. It's about what is this laser enabling? What's the problem are you solving? So it's not about what you have for sale. It's about what problems are others running into and how can your product help solve that. And if you can think about that and think, okay, so what problems can I solve with this? And you are able to tell that story, then I think, you have a successful marketing story because then it also doesn't sound commercial, right? This is the big difference between the success of Apple and Microsoft because Apple wasn't selling computers, they were selling tools for teachers to teach better, right? So it was never about the device, it was about the things that it was enabling. So I think this would be my advice for any, I don't know, startup that has to do everything by themselves and can't afford a big marketing firm. Please try to stop thinking about your technical specifications, but think about what potential customers could really benefit from this product and why. Why would this product be helping them? And then try to explain that.
This is very nice. It was just reminding me of another podcast session with an expert who told me about WWW. I guess it's what, whom, and why. So this is what he said. It's very nice, and I see the connection.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as Sinek. So this, I really like listening to him as well. So don't know. Do you know him?
No, no, no. I don't know him.
Ah,
Can
you
you name it?
should.
Because
You should. I mean, I think I was always kind of good at what I did, but I like he's talking a lot about leadership and what makes a good leader. And during my studies, you get all these, this is the definition of, this is the definition of, and I always thought bullshit. And it was really funny because when the first time I listened to him, I thought, yeah, he is explaining exactly what I mean, right? So I mean, he's definitely one that is very inspirational, and he also talks a lot about this. Why? The why is the most important thing, right? What is driving you? Why are you doing this? Why should people be buying this? So definitely, yeah, we probably like the same, listen to the same person.
But it's so nice because it's like confirming, what we are doing. That we really would like to help young people, with coaching so that they know in which direction they should grow, what kind of tools they should need, all those things. So it's very helpful to ask always, for what is it, what is the purpose of, right? So in general, how
Yes,
is it
yes.
going to help someone? It's very
No,
nice.
absolutely. I mean, definitely in this market segments, you see a lot of startups also from people developing some kind of product in the university and then spinning out or in a research center and then spinning out into a startup. So and that's often driven like, ah yeah, this is a really nice product, but why? Why
Why?
do
Yeah, yeah.
why
And
this
who?
company? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the next one, right? But I mean, this is also what Simon says. Like, this if we like the why, we will follow, right? The I have a dream is just someone who's telling and explaining why he's doing things, and this is what gets people excited and gets people to want to follow you or want to do business with you if it's like that, right? So I mean, I started in Fabulous now, and I said, well, I just want everyone to work together, and together we can achieve more. And this is my why. I don't want to work for a single company where I help one company grow. I want to work with a lot of companies so I can help a lot of companies grow together. And I think this is also why we are successful, right? Because I think people like the why.
Obviously, it's fabulous. That's the wife.
Absolutely.
Okay, just one last question. I was asking myself, how could I work as a company together with you? So because you just said you are supporting Fabulous, so this is an EU project, just so the listeners understand, right? And but how could I work with you? You know, I mean, of course, I could reach out to Suzette and Andra from Sales Pro for you, but by the way, I mean, how could I start working with you? What are you offering? You know?
Okay. So Fabulous is not a project anymore. The project is finished. So, but we were definitely started and founded as a European project, and so we focus on micro optics. So anyone who's listening who has either an interest in micro optics or is working in micro optics or has an issue or a problem with their product where they think, micro optics, maybe that could be a solution. They should all contact me anyway. And then, of course, as I said, so I really feel passionate also about helping companies grow and, fell in love with photonics. Think I would be an excellent partner to, help think about how can you position your products into the markets. So definitely, if you're a startup and, very technically driven and thinking, oh my God, how should I put this in the market? Then contact me as well, because I mean, I've been to Laser World of Photonics where I've met some startups where I thought, oh, such a cool technology and such a poor way of showing what you can do. So, I mean, I was like, oh, I would just help you for free, right? I mean, please don't do this. So yeah, I mean, I have to see, you can only spend your time once, of course. So that could be a challenge, but definitely I am really passionate about photonics, and I think I have a lot of different experiences and gained knowledge. So if anyone anytime needs a sounding board or would like to have some feedback or some, I don't know, doing some marketing themselves and thinking, oh, Jessica, what do you think about it? Can you please take a look at it? Then I'm fine, giving some feedback. I love helping people. So as I said, so the thing that makes me happy is knowing I helped companies grow. So this is what I will continue to do. And I would prefer to do that in photonics because I love it.
This was almost wrapping up the whole episode, Jessica. No, no, but there is one question, and I will give you some time. I will ask the question first, and then I keep talking. So the question is, could you just give me a quote? Because I like to have a quote, like something from the heart. What you just said before, why you do the things, then what you should take into account if you do storytelling, or something related to this, or a personal motivation quote, but something which is driving you now.
Well, I mean, so I think the quote that I mentioned most also because I like working with interns and and giving them some education and seeing them grow. And I think the thing that I think is most valuable is try to not be negative because any negativity costs you a lot of energy and it brings you nothing ever. So, if you are a young professional and you don't like your job or you don't like your boss, find another job, and don't dwell in the things that are maybe not so nice, but try to focus on the positive and just keep moving forward and don't waste any time on negativity. Really, it will bring you nothing. Don't do it.
Oh, this was so kind. Thank you so much, Jessica. I received only positive vibes since the last 20 minutes. So it was awesome. It was so nice. Thank you so much. And I'm going to close the session now. So, which means if you are interested in working with Jessica in any kind we just mentioned, please reach out to us from Sales Pro for You, Suzette, and I'm going to connect you both. And I'm very happy that Jessica was today with me in the show. Jessica, it was a pleasure talking to you. It was fabulous, as I just said. I love this, I can always tell it. It's fabulous. It's wonderful. Thank you so much, Jessica, for your time.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me for this podcast. So thank you. And I look forward to hearing from everyone.